Hey, so it looks like the end of that last video got cut off. I had him at 1, and he had some chump blockers, and a Jace at 1 that had to bounce my lethal Bird of Paradise. I had him in a pretty rough spot, but then I drew Sacher Step and just killed him. So yeah, that's how that video was supposed to end. This is Game 3. We're back on the draw. Obvious mulligan, like unbelievably slow, and like I have to draw another white source to even be able to cast my 2 spells, and that would mean I have yet another mana source, which means I'm super flooded. This hand I kept, and I'm unsure about it. It's possible I should have gone to 5, but I don't know. On the draw I saw a lot of potential in this hand, whereas a 5-carder could easily be, obviously horrible. So, I don't know enough about the deck. I don't have enough experience to say whether this was right or not, but I kept it in this instance. So we drew an upright land, but it wasn't blue, so we can't cast Jace. But now we have negate mana up and can cast either Baneslayer or Jace next turn. And he plays a Cobra and a fetch land and passes. So he just has like a billion mana available to him and doesn't do anything, which to me makes me think he has a counter. And so my first instinct is to just play Baneslayer Angel. He can't negate or flash freeze it, and it's unlikely he's going to deprive it. If he deprives it, I'm fine with that. But I can't play Jace and get it negated here. I figure if I play Baneslayer and tap out for Baneslayer, then on his next turn he casts like Mind Spring, and I'm in trouble. But I have a game plan. Like even though I'm behind, I have a goal in mind with if a Baneslayer's on board. Whereas if I just pass the turn here, holding negate up, then I really have no game plan. And he's already shown that he is willing to hold up mana, like not spend mana on his turn in order to fight over something or maximize something. He's shown a willingness to not just spend all of his mana immediately. So if I pass here, like play land and pass to negate something, and he just passes back, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Or if he plays like an Avenger or something, whereas if I have a Baneslayer in play, I might have a chance of hitting like a Sovereigns or something. I ruled out. So those are my 2 options because I ruled out the Jace because I didn't want it to get negated. But it's possible that if you don't put him on a negate, if you put him on either Flash Freeze or like just a handful of Avengers and Time Warps, then Jace here is actually reasonable because you can Jace and Brainstorm and then either shuffle away crap, or if you hit a blue source, you can still hold up negate. So at the time, I immediately ruled Jace out, but looking back, it might have been the play. What I did do was just I played the Baneslayer Angel. I felt like I had to be proactive and make something happen. But as expected, he had a use for all that mana. And it is an All Is Dust. Now, I didn't watch enough replays to see if he had All Is Dust or not, but if I knew that All Is Dust was in his deck for sure, then it becomes more obvious why he wasn't playing any spells. And that means that it becomes much more appetizing to brainstorm with Jace, because it's unlikely that he has a counter since he's repping all his dust, not a counter anymore. And so Jace can get some value, and Cobra can't kill it in one hit. And then if he doesn't all his dust the Jace, then you get another Brainstorm and play a Baneslayer, and or have birds up and can negate. So the game goes a lot differently if I know he has all his dust in his deck. But frankly, I got lazy and didn't watch all his replays, and I should have. So that was yet another mistake. Run the Baneslayer out there and hope that he just has Stone Nothing. Turns out he actually had pretty close to Stone Nothing. He has an Avenger, and I draw a Colonnade, which I'm like, yeah, blue source, but then he has 2 Tectonic Edges. But yeah, I'm at 19, he's at 18, and these are all 01s. So do the math for yourself on like Baneslayer hits. It actually took me a while to do the math of like all the scenarios of if you had a fetch land or if you had a normal land and so on. And ultimately, with all that information, I decided to pass. He obviously Tectonic Edges, and he Rampant Growths out of land but doesn't have a land drop. And he actually tanked on his attack step, so that was him doing the math that I had just done, and it is not pretty for him to attack there, so he doesn't. And I draw an island, which is a really good draw. And now I just need him to miss. I need to hit like maybe 7%er. I need him to miss like. I need him to miss 3 times. I need him to miss completely twice, and then on the last one, he needs to hit only a 1 land, not like an Oracle turn. And I still need to draw Sovereigns, another Baneslayer, or I had another out. Yeah, that's all I got. I thought I had another out. Oh, Gideon. Yeah, Gideon. So I have a Gideon and 2 Baneslayers and 4 Sovereigns left in my deck as outs. And I need him to not hit a land. If he has like a Rampant Growth or a Ponder or something, then I can negate it. He draws a Lotus Cobra, which, hooray, that's a total blank. He actually Tectonic Edges a Sun Petal Grove for absolutely no reason. I have man lands in my deck. I have lands that produce blue, non-basic lands that produce blue, and I already have 6 lands, so he's trying to shut off Sovereigns, but the way the game played out, I just never missed a land drop, so he doesn't know that I don't have just another land in hand, and I think he would have been better off holding it, because obviously if I had Sovereigns I would have played it. So what are the odds that I don't have a land and draw Sovereigns? I think that's less likely than say me drawing a Celestial Colonnade and that ending up mattering. So I draw a Hierarch here, which actually means that I only need him to miss for 2 turns, because I can put him on a clock. And I still have my negate, so if he draws, there are a lot of draws that would win in the game if I didn't have negate, but I do. But still, any land pretty much wins it for him. And sure enough, he hits Oracle into a land, and I lose. So, I mean, I expected to lose. When I saw that opening hand, like obviously I'm gonna fight, but it was an uphill climb. And then even when we hit that like top deck point after all his dust, where I played Baneslayer, he played Avenger, and then we stared at each other for a few turns, I still had like maybe a little less than a 10%er, which for such a seemingly devastating game state, that's not bad. But I didn't hit, and I lost. and that's when I fell to 3-1.